Hey Commanders fans, get ready, because today we have exclusive news about our team, and you can't miss a single detail. So take advantage and subscribe to the channel. Activate the bell to receive everything firsthand, and of course, leave a like to strengthen our support and show that there are only true fans here. Our commitment is to always bring you the latest updates, news, and everything that goes on behind the scenes at Commanders. So, without further ado, let's check out today's news. Washington Commanders. Reportedly near $3 billion deal to bring team back to D.C., the nation's capital, could be close to seeing the return of the Washington Commanders to D.C., with a $3 billion deal reportedly in the works. The Washington Commanders could be close to returning to the nation's capital. According to a report from NBC Washington's Mark Segraves on Wednesday night, the NFL franchise is close to a $3 billion deal with the District of Columbia to return the Commanders to a new stadium built on the site of RFK Stadium. Segraves' report states that multiple sources familiar with the deal told News 4 that Mayor Muriel Bowser and the Commanders have the framework for a deal in place that would have the team pay the vast majority of the costs to build a new stadium, and much of the money provided by the city would go toward the infrastructure that will support the entire 180-acre development. The Commanders would fund up to $2.5 billion for the project, while D.C. would provide up to $850 million. The city would pay the first $500 million in installments between 2026 and 2030, while the final $350 million would be paid in 2032 through taxes generated by the development of the new venue. Washington played at RFK Stadium from 1961 to 1996 before moving to Landover, Maryland, where it currently plays at Northwest Stadium. A return to D.C. would be a highly anticipated move for fans and could re-energize the Commanders as they begin to turn things around with new quarterback Jalen Daniels. Commanders under fire for $45 million free agent signing. The Washington Commanders have been active this offseason, making unexpected trades to further improve their offense led by quarterback Jalen Daniels, while also adding free agents on both sides of the floor to improve in areas that were lacking last season. It's hard to imagine Washington will continue to push for more free agents or trades with the NFL draft approaching, but one of their off-season decisions is being ridiculed. According to Bleacher Report, the Commanders' signing of former first-round draft pick, defensive tackle Javon Kinlaw, doesn't make much sense, as they signed him to a 3-year $45 million contract with $30 million guaranteed. Avon Kinlaw is seen as one of the worst off-season moves. Kinlaw spent last season with the New York Jets, after spending the first 4 years of his career with the San Francisco 49ers, where he was drafted by current Commanders general manager Adam Peters. The reasoning behind the ridiculousness of the move is that Kinlaw didn't perform as well as expected with the 14th overall pick, plus the fact that they let Jonathan Allen walk only to sign a deal with the Minnesota Vikings for just $2 million more per year than what Washington gave Kinlaw. There's no doubt that Allen is the more productive player, which is why I'd say the move isn't all that great. The Commanders could have waited to fill that draft spot for a much cheaper price or worked things out with Allen to keep the interior trenched star in the DMV area. Kinlaw is, however, much younger than Allen and still possesses elite physical traits that make it hard to simply write him off as a bust. The concern, however, is his lack of production, as Kinlaw has managed just 9.5 sacks in his 5 years in the league, with minimal other production as well. The defensive tackle will be responsible for helping replace Allen on the Commanders' interior defensive line, along with new addition Eddie Goldman, and Peters expects Kinlaw's pairing with Dan Quinn to help get the most out of him to help replace the production lost by Allen's departure this offseason. Washington Commanders should avoid signing Jalen Ramsey. Here's why. Hey, Commanders fans. A piece of news recently stirred up the market. The Miami Dolphins are exploring the possibility of trading veteran cornerback Jalen Ramsey. With that, several NFL teams naturally began to be speculated as possible destinations for the player, and the Washington Commanders appeared among the main interested parties. But would this be a good idea? The short answer is, probably not. There are several factors that indicate that the Commanders should stay away from this trade. Too high a cost for little return. First of all, it is worth highlighting the high financial cost that accompanies Jalen Ramsey. The cornerback has a current contract and is scheduled to receive more than $16 million in 2025, an amount that jumps to more than $25 million annually in the following 3 seasons. This is a huge investment, especially for a franchise that is rebuilding and needs to manage the salary cap well. In addition to the financial burden, the deal would involve the loss of valuable draft picks. And it's worth remembering that the Commanders have already sacrificed significant capital this offseason by acquiring wide receiver Deebo Samuel Sr. and left tackle Laramie Tunsil. Giving up even more assets for a veteran player could jeopardize the team's future. A fading star, Ramsey has undoubtedly been one of the NFL's biggest names at his position in recent years. However, his recent performance is worrying. In 2023, he had the worst season of his career, missing the Pro Bowl for the first time since his rookie year. Although his numbers are still respectable, clear signs of decline have begun to emerge, which is natural considering that he is approaching 30 years old, an age considered advanced for cornerbacks. In addition, it is worth remembering that Washington already has another veteran with a history of injuries and advanced age, Marshon Lattimore. Bringing in another player with this profile could become an unnecessary risk. Profile doesn't fit Washington's new culture. Another important factor is personality fit. Under coach Dan Quinn and new general manager Adam Peters, the Commanders are trying to build a culture based on humility, accountability, and team spirit. And frankly, that's not the profile Jalen Ramsey represents. Throughout his career, he's always been known for having one of the biggest egos in the league. While that's been tolerated in other environments due to his talent, that attitude may not be well received in a rebuilding locker room. The Dolphins' current situation itself raises questions. The team has been facing leadership issues, and as one of the most experienced players, Ramsey was expected to take a more active role in that regard, which hasn't happened. Better to bet on the talent already present and on young prospects. It's true that Washington still needs to strengthen its secondary, but the solution isn't in an expensive and declining veteran. The franchise already has a healthy Marshon Lattimore, the promising Mike Sainristil, who should improve in his second year in the league, and the experienced Jonathan Jones, recently signed in free agency. If the team decides to add more depth to the cornerback position, the ideal would be to look for names with potential for development, preferably through the last rounds of the 2025 NFL Draft, without compromising the budget or strategic planning.